Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare the HyperX Cloud II Wireless, seen here with some funky red accents, and the Blackshark from Razer, the Blackshark V2 Pro. Both of these are wireless headsets compatible with PC and other devices, and I have tested and unboxed both of these headsets and done separate reviews on them. And while I was doing it, I thought they were similar in a number of ways, so I wanted to do a comparison video to talk to you about the differences between them, how they stack up in terms of the features and comparable features and facets of them, and which I prefer. So I'm going to talk to you about all of those different things. Now, if you're interested, I have done unboxing and review videos separately that I'll link to in the description, where you can hear the microphone quality. Obviously, that's a big part of it. If you want to hear what the mics are like, be sure to check out those videos where I used the microphone throughout the entirety of the video so that you can hear the capture quality and what that's like. They're detachable microphones, obviously with some noise cancellation. They do end up being quite compressed on both of them, and I commented quite heavily on both of those microphones when I was doing the review, but it is quite a common occurrence with headsets mics, because obviously you've got that wireless transmission of the microphone quality, and obviously blocking out external noise often results in a compression as well. There is some elimination there, but what you're seeing from these clips is that there's a similarity in the setup of them. So they have quite similarly sized ear cups, quite large headband padded with faux leather. The HyperX Cloud II Wireless has faux leather ear cups with memory foam cushioning. It also has memory foam and leatherette headband designed to be comfortable and sit nicely on your head. The Razer Blackshark V2 Pro is a similar setup in that it also has a padded headband, but it uses a fiber ear cup design instead, and I'll go into a bit more depth on that later on. You'll also see that Razer has gone for these very thin arms on the headband that comes out to the ear cups, and there's some highlights and lowlights to that. They're both very understated in a number of ways. They don't have RGB lighting on them, for example, and the Razer is very stealth. It doesn't even have a particularly in-your-face logo from Razer on there. There's no green accents on it or anything. It does jut out a bit, and I commented on that in the review, and I said that volume control wheel on the side, for example, sticks out quite a lot. And the HyperX is obviously the more in your face of the two, with the red aluminium frame that you can see here, and the red accents, the red logo, the red stitching and other things. So it does stand out a little bit more out of the two, but they both deliver a pretty decent sound. You'll see they're very flexible too. You can see that the HyperX Cloud II Wireless stretches and bends nicely. They both extend out really nicely. There are similar weights that are about 300 grams, and I'll leave all the specifications in the description so you can compare on paper, but they're basically the similar weights. They're quite lightweight headsets. The Blackshark V2 Pro sits very loosely on the head, but it is easy to adjust the ear cups into the right position. I feel like the Cloud II Wireless has a bit more clamping force to it, but again, it's a lightweight headset with a really nice fit to it. The Cloud II has large 53mm drivers, and they're dynamic drivers with a closed back design. So you have the faux leather memory foam ear cushions, which block out a lot of external noise and prevent ingress of a lot of noise when you really focus on the game and enjoy the sound coming from it. And you can see a close up there, and the ear cups are removable and they're comfortable to wear. Obviously, being faux leather, they do get quite hot, so your ears do get quite warm, but I felt like these were large enough to nicely fit the ear. They're not terribly deep, as you can see from this footage, but they are big enough that I didn't find any pressure on my ear when I was using them throughout the day. Also found the drivers were really powerful. They deliver a very loud audio. You can really crank these up, so if you like to have really loud sound from your headset, then this is certainly the one to choose. Also has 7.1 virtual surround sound from HyperX. The Razer Blackshark V2 Pro has 50mm drivers, Razer's Triforce titanium drivers, and again that delivers a really loud sound with a frequency response of 12Hz to 28kHz, so decent sound. It has THX audio to it, so you've got surround sound straight from Razer as well, but you'll see quite a different design. So I was saying earlier on about the ear cups and the way they move. There's a lot of tilt and wobble in them. You can adjust them nicely and they will fit on your head. But what you do find, what I found, is that the design of these fiber cushioning is a bit scratchy on the head. It also doesn't seem like it's terribly easy or possible to remove the ear cups. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you know otherwise, but when I tried to get them off I couldn't, or if I had done I don't think I'd be able to get them back on, so I didn't risk it because I did have to return the headset at the end of the day. But I found that material to be a bit scratchy, obviously because it's not faux leather, it doesn't block out as much external noise. That said, I did find the audio quality of this headset to be quite good. Generally speaking, I've found in the past that Razer headsets aren't terribly great when it comes to audio and the virtual surround sound, but this is one of the better ones that I've tried, and it delivered a really good sound. My main gripe in the review was that the mic quality was really compressed, and you'll hear that if you check that out. Now, in the box with the Razer Blackshark, you get the USB dongle. Now this connects via 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection to your PC, and it gives you up to 20 meters of range and 24 hours of battery life. And I found that the battery life was fairly decent on it. You also get a braided micro USB charging cable in the box for charging purposes, but that is all it will do. It will not transmit audio, so you cannot plug it in and use the audio like that. You need the dongle. You do, however, get a 3.5mm connection, so you have the option to plug in this 3.5mm cable and use that when it's run out of battery, so you could use it just plugged into a phone or another device that take a 3.5mm. I used it while plugged into my Go XLR so I could mic monitor my main microphone. If you want to use the included microphone, this is a super cardioid microphone, which obviously has that windshield. There's markings on it to let you know which way round you should use the mic as well, so you can get it facing towards you in the right direction. This is designed to stop picking up background noise. Obviously it doesn't pick up keyboard noise as much, and I do remember thinking that the mic wasn't great in terms of the quality of voice capture. However, it was good at blocking out external noise, which is something that the Cloud II Wireless wasn't as good at. It picked up some keyboard noise, and you'll hear that in the review if you go and listen to it. But the fact that you can remove both of the mics on these make them usable in other ways. Obviously, if you've got an external microphone, you can use that, or if you just want to use them as headphones. Now you can use the Blackshark V2 Pro in a more flexible ways because of that 3.5mm connection. There is no 3.5mm connection on the HyperX Cloud II Wireless. There's no Bluetooth on either of these devices either, which is a real shame. There are other headsets out there with both wireless and Bluetooth, which makes them a lot more flexible. SteelSeries Arctic's lineup, for example, often has Bluetooth as well as wireless, which gives you more connectivity options. Both these headsets both have the same setup. Apart from that 3.5mm connection, you need the dongle connected in order to run it. You'll also note that the HyperX Cloud II Wireless comes with a very short charging cable, but that is USB-C, so that is one bonus. If you have a USB-C charging cable knocking around your house that's longer, you can use that instead. And I have done that, but again, you cannot plug it in, so I found you can't use a USB-C to USB-C cable, plug it into a phone and an Android device, for example, and play music that way. It's only for charging purposes, not for audio transmission from what I can see, which is a bit of an oddity and a shame. However, I did think that the Cloud II Wireless had fantastic battery life. You can get up to 30 hours of battery life, and it has some intelligent battery life management on it, which meant when I was using it, I was using it for 2.5 weeks or so, and I found that the thing just kept going and going, and I wasn't charging it that often. It was great. I was using it throughout the day and then into the night gaming. Did feel like the audio was a bit tinny, unfortunately. The audio isn't as good, I don't think. It does have a good audio range to it, but in some games it felt quite tinny, whereas listening to music and watching movies and stuff, I thought it was good. And as I said, it does get very loud. Both these headsets are loud. The Cloud II Wireless was particularly loud. You will see it also has easy access to a mic mute button and a volume control wheel on the headset, but otherwise it's fairly no frills. A power button as well. Now, A point of interest is that the Cloud II Wireless mic mute button, there is a small ring around the microphone which goes red when you press that button, and it lets you know that the mic is muted. There's also an audible cue within the headset, which is basically a beep to let you know it's muted too. This is something the Blackshark is missing, sadly. There's no LED to let you know when that's muted, and the audio feedback isn't quite as good. The Cloud II Wireless lets you know when it's running low on battery as well, so you can plug it in there. You can plug both of these in and charge them at the same time as using them with the dongle, so that's not a problem. But one thing that I did know is that the charging cable for both of them is quite short. It's significantly shorter with the Cloud II Wireless than it is with the Blackshark, which is a pain for me personally, because it means if you're running out of battery with a wireless headset and you need to plug it in, you basically can't use the Cloud II Wireless unless you happen to be sitting a very short distance away from your PC or laptop. Now you can see the headbands extend nicely. I feel like the Blackshark V2 Pro looks a lot more flimsy than the HyperX Cloud II. You can see the Cloud II has this very sturdy looking aluminium frame to it, a very strong and durable headband, and it looks like it'll stand up to abuse over time. However, I will note that I did think actually when I was using the Blackshark that despite the fact that it looks flimsy in the video and in photos, those struts on the outside are actually stronger than they look, and it feels like it will last for quite a while. It's also quite a nice looking design, and it's easy to adjust into a comfortable position. Both headsets also extend really nicely and stretch out really nicely, so I think if you have a larger head, you will probably find that both of these are very comfortable to wear and easy to get into a position where they're useful and a good fit for you. They're both designed to be lightweight and easy to wear all day long. That was one of the selling points of the Blackshark V2 Pro. That's something that I made a big deal out of, and that's partially why the headband has this sort of prong design to it, because they're designed to basically be lightweight and not put any excess pressure on your head, and yet they both weigh in at roughly the same. The Blackshark weighs in at 320 grams and the Cloud II Wireless is 309, so there's not much in it. In fact, the Cloud II is slightly lighter. You wouldn't think it from looking at the footage and considering the materials involved. So all in all, these are two very comparable headsets, both on paper and in practice. The Blackshark has the upper hand with the 3.5mm connection, but the overall feel of them in terms of the sound they deliver is very similar. The microphones are very similar. The battery life is similar. The Cloud II has a bit more. I feel like it lasted a bit longer, and it possibly has a bit more range in terms of the wireless connectivity. But in the end, they're both great headsets. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful, interesting, hilarious, or all of the above. Be sure to check out the description for other information you might find interesting, and subscribe and watch these other videos as well that I think might be useful to you, and have a great life.